Food pantries that have helped so many during the pandemic are being recognized on this National Food Pantry Day. Darius Radzius tells us that story.
I'm hoping that I'll be back on my feet again, but I'm going to need more assistance.
Many people who have been relying on food pantries during the pandemic are still trying to get back on their feet, like this woman who didn't want to be identified. She never imagined she'd be in this position and for so long.
I would think that I'd be donating here more or less than.
The need for food during the pandemic spiked, but 2.5 years later, Hudson Valley food pantries say that the need is just as high.
These families, now serving over 3,000 families a year, are still with us, are still needing help.
Claire Murphy with the Community Center of Northern Westchester says that's a 50% increase since before the pandemic, which is why her pantry was one of 13 to receive the New York State Senate Empire Award Friday from Senator Peter Harcum. Other pantries say their numbers are much higher, especially as inflation emerged as a new crisis. Cynthia Knox, who runs a food pantry in Peekskill, says that's compounding recovery.
It's the increase in gas prices, inflation, particularly the increase in housing costs.
And because everyone is paying more, Knox says people are donating less at a time when the need is just as high since the start of the pandemic.
We are absolutely seeing a strain on our financial donations.
Margaret McKenzie from New York started donating to the pantry here since the pandemic and vows to continue donating as much as she can during inflation.
There's a tremendous feeling of giving and being part of something when you do something kind for someone else, and that's priceless.
And she urges others to step up donations at a time when people need it most. In Katona, Darius Radzius, News 12.